All right, what's up, guys? Episode 50, Side Pitch Podcast with Ethan and Ryan. Pretty iced out here, E. I don't think you got any ice, right?
Not on the wrist,
Ice
but yeah,
storms, none of
outside.
that shit.
Outside, yeah, for sure.
All right, but I know this guy that we have on episode 50, so we had to bring on big guests. Um,
Yo,
you're in Miami, so there's definitely no ice, but Mayowa Owolabi, we've got on. He's coached at about every level. Um, And most importantly, he brought us together, and you're a day one side pitch guy.
shit. I believe the vision. Look, y'all icy out there, and where are you based right now, Ryan?
I mean, undisclosed location, but you know the
Oh,
F.
okay, the
The
F.
F's scary
Don't
out
talk
here with
about
the
the F.
ice, man.
Either you live it or you know it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. The F is for the real ones. So look, I'm happy to be on the pod. This is years in the making. This is coaching education. This is intern life. This is vibes all around. There might be like some money or a PlayStation still owed due to some crazy antics at the
Yeah.
convention. But when the DJ puts on all your bangers, you know your life is good.
Yes. So Maiwa used to be our boss once upon a time, but Maiwa, just give us a little description of what you've done and just why you're such a big time guest, man.
Man, episode 50. Yeah, excited. The background, I think I've gone from coaching to entrepreneur to executive to coach. I've done it at every level. I'm telling the story yesterday at training when talking to coaches. I'm like, man, what's the first group you started coaching? So I got involved in Norfolk while at college at Old Dominion, repping Norfolk, AC Norfolk throwback
Yep,
days.
yep, yep.
They've gone through some transformations, but they're still alive. The newest edition, VB City, which is amazing because this is how we started and where we are today with your boy ET running VB City right now. So that's a legacy from AC Norfolk all the way true. But then you take it to IC Norcom High School, who sometimes brought some people on staff, won about 3 games in about 4 or 5 years, if you know anything about the 7x7 soccer scene. But we as we said, we broke some barriers and we did some things. And I won't forget scoring a half goal, half field shot against Maury High School. And when I asked the kid why'd he shoot, he just looked at me and said, Coach, I got tired. And he just kicked the ball from half field and scored a goal. Let's go. These are statistics. But then from there, I've done youth soccer in Virginia, Northern Virginia, at some good clubs. So again, AC Norfolk to start it off, Prince William, Loudon Soccer, ran around, came down to Miami, did some things at Kendall Rush, Soccer 5, got into some soccer in Nigeria. We coached collegiately here in South Florida, Johnson and Wales, North Miami campus on the women's side. Got a year of that under my belt. Good experience. I'll see if I ever get back into the collegiate scene, but I think I'm happy where I am. Coached at yeah, it's been at the NPSL level, Miami Fusion, DC United under 23s back in the day, and currently now club owner at multiple levels. We got a professional team in Denmark, B93 on the women's side. We've touched the highest division. We've came back down. We got plans to go right back up, so we know what we're doing there. USL franchises here in Miami, Miami Athletic Club, rep the brand. You see us.
Yes,
Yep,
sir.
yep.
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah, we do that. I think we're entering year. Yeah, we've done it for a long time, entering season four, USL League Two, W League, USL Academy with the youth academy below it, and then blessed to have my experiences coaching at the national team level at Haiti, U17, U20s, and so a lot on the resume, a lot more to still come on the resume. We've been around the block, but we love the block, we love the streets. That's why we're still here.
Yes, sir. So
Respect.
let's bring it all the way back. Like, what got you into soccer? Like, who were kind of some of your role models that kind of got you into the game?
Ooh, man, great question to kick us off. Soccer, I feel like it's generic, but I was the younger brother, and then I followed Big Bro to the field all the time, so he definitely got me into the game. You're kicking the ball, you're running around the field, you're finding other kids on the pitch. That goes back, and then you're ready to play soccer come first grade. You sign up for the rec league, and that's all she wrote, and it never stopped, and always been involved in the game. Yeah, influential people. I think he's probably the first that got me playing. That's family rivalries again, straight to the streets in front of the crib. They had some battles. They probably ended in somebody going upstairs, somebody going downstairs. Somebody might have got punked or punched, the life, but you grow up through it. Coach wise, I've been lucky. I've had some real good coaches in my life. Sully Hammond was a leader out there. I'd say Ken Krieger was probably my most impactful coach from a club level, from a what we call it, yeah, the high school level coaching, director wise. He's always been around. Dave Scruggs, a wild guy from Delaware who came down to Norfolk and put me on game in the club world. So he showed me the ropes, gave me the big opportunities, and let me run a lot of things. And yeah, we were up, and we haven't came down.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I'd hit those people highlights. Then again, working with fantastic people. You jump into my time, CCL. You got people, Daryl G, Brian Cook, legends of the game, from player standpoints, from executive sides, who've met some people along the way across the across the country on just youth soccer expansion and league play. So good people all around. But yeah, I'd highlight those first ones as real mentors in the game.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, with all that coaching experience and obviously playing with some big dogs growing up, like CJ and whatnot, do you look to emulate a style in your coaching? Like, is there a style of play you look forward to? Talk a little bit about that.
Look, I think the game is wonderful because as coaches, you get to build your methodology, your philosophy, and like I was a goal scorer, so
Yep. Yep.
we're forward thinking. Find your striker, find your high man. If you can receive and turn, that's your objective. Let's get to goal. Let's be as direct as possible. We know when we keep possession, we try to build out of our half as quickly as we can. As I said, we go forward, but I think that's what I've always emulated. That's what I've always pushed in teams. I've been assistant coaches at times, so I've had roles within a system, but we still get to push our mentality, our methodology. So I've seen that world at good levels where we're able to attack transition training sessions, high intense training sessions, quick reps in and out, just so our players are prepared for these moments. I think that's what they're looking for. They love it, and we get to create those reps, and then that's what we like to see. And our tanks are heavy, so we've trained it, we've guided it, we've prepped it, so we've been able to see a lot of that. So again, from my coaching perspective, that's where I love to be. From a club side, that's where we want to promote the club because, we've seen that attraction in player market as well. So you want fast paced, you want creative players, you want players that understand objectives. Yes, I was in a convo tonight where every player on the field has their responsibility. So you manage your roles in a system. We all celebrate it.
Sweet.
So, like, in your like kind of early coaching days, or what was your first player that like popped out to you that you coached that may have went on to like another level or D1 or pro or anything like that?
Yes, great question of a player that popped. I think we've had a handful. We've popped a few. We've developed a handful through their years. I'd say one that I'll bring to Virginia in my Norfolk days, current ODU, UNC alum, Amir White. I remember just watching the kid grow it's crazy to say, a 6-year-old in the academy, and just like knowing, yeah, this kid's he's gonna ball out. He just picked up a ball, wanted to play. Um, oh no, I'm saying Amir, that's younger brother.
Yeah, yeah. You talk about Key,
Key
right?
White,
Yeah, yeah,
Key
yeah, yeah.
White. Yeah. So let me get the names correct. Key White at the age of 6 coming in and balling and just knowing that he was gonna really compete at a high level. And then even watching his younger brother at a younger age come in and play the game. I'd say that's a player from who early early coaching. I was in my first club, and then yeah, touched on a handful of others, and then currently, within the USL platform, we have players that are coming in seasonally. Sometimes we're identifying them, sometimes they're identifying us, and we can identify and we can definitely point them out. I'd say, yeah, Sabrina from a USL Miami Athletic Club W League team recently. She came in, had the profile, knew she was gonna really take off. She went off to Fort Lauderdale in the USL Super League. A player and a rocket. She came in from Miami AC, went to Denmark, had her experience there, made her way into Ireland, definitely knew she was going to make it. And then I'd say even the class after that, we definitely pinpointed some players that we brought in from an FIU roster, different schools. We brought a player from what's that school in West Virginia, so Marshall.
Mm,
We could definitely identify these players. And look, you got a Reagan playing in Sparta. She got Champions League matches this season. You got Noemi. She went on to play in the new league in Canada, NSL. Played heavy minutes in Montreal. So yeah, I've been fortunate enough to coach a lot of players that's from the past, from the current, and I've seen them all kind of aspire, dream, and make it to these levels.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's always cool having a part of that as well.
I think you coached one of my favorites, Jackson Hopkins, right? Yeah. OG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jackson Hopkins played for
Yep.
me at PWSI back in the day.
Hey man. Hey, hey, hey. That's awesome.
Like Jackson, this is back when we were juggling balloons, and people are like, "What are you doing? Don't worry about it." There's balance, there's coordination. And now look, I think clubs have taken on a lot of these training methodologies, training philosophies, and I'm sitting here running academy sessions with Ken Krieger, Aaron Bruner, Matt Lowry. Matt Lowry's Atlanta United assistant coach on the first team. You got Alex Silver still at the club doing work. These are people who are forward thinking, developmental, and we've had a handful. Even those days, I think there were state championships and national championships and MLS drafts and for D1 players going every year. So it was a hotbed. It was a great environment. They're still happening, and I think it speaks volumes. Again, we go back to player style, playing style. I take a lot of my methodology from a guy, Ken Krieger, and I'm again fortunate enough to coach with the guy to play for him. I was a striker, and the guy loved to get me and get CJ the ball. So this is
Mm,
what created us as players. He'd find the highest person on the field, who's up the field up there, and just get it to him, and then he'd just let us go.
yeah.
There, there's creativity in that methodology as well.
Yep. Yeah. No, it makes sense. Strikers, obviously get paid the big bucks and stuff like that. So, um, Mayowa, a big thing about you, like what amazes me is you know everybody everywhere. Like I don't think there's a corner of the place where of the world, not nevertheless the US. You know people in the pro youth academy system. Have there been any like big jobs, and you don't have to say specific clubs, but like any jobs that you've been like, man, this is awesome. I just got to turn it down. Like,
Yeah, oof. It's a recent one, you know. I think
mm,
I was in some good space. I've tapped in now to let's call it the national team market space, and so there's some opportunities that have presented themselves that have came across and good opportunities, but they also take a lot. So I think everybody who works in this industry understands what a 40-hour work week is and understands how you double that. And that's the world we live in. So there's excitement when being in it, being hours and being deep, but then there's a level of enjoyment with a lot of flexibility. And so I think I've been fortunate enough to have some unique endeavors, create some opportunities, create some clubs, create some organizations, invest in some unique opportunities that keeps me agile and everywhere. And like you said, keeps me kind of knowing things around the world. And then, even with FIFA coming to Miami, that's helped open some marketplaces. But
for sure.
yeah, it's been some cool opportunities. Honestly speaking, getting me into Haiti was a process. I trusted the process. I knew the head coach, I knew the technical director, but prior to that, I was in a very good space. So it was like, am I gonna leave this environment? I got a good paying job. I'm in a very impactful role. I'm 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 in football, so I'm in soccer every day, dealing with good customers, good clientele, people I enjoy being around. Do you want to leave that for the new challenge? So you have those opportunities that come. The first time it came, I wasn't able to take it. The next couple of times, it was just the right time.
Yeah.
And again, I appreciate those experiences and times and what it's really presented to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
And speaking of Haiti, like you've participated in, CONCACAF youth tournaments. What does that like picking the team look like? And how long is that process? And how many names do you start with player wise?
Oof. Yeah, that's a real process. I haven't been a head coach, so I haven't seen it from that perspective, but I know that process is years out. So it's a grind if you're watching footage, if you're watching games. For us, we took some unique routes. We know last names, we checked MLS rosters, we checked pro rosters We were looking for Jean Baptiste. We were looking for Etienne's. We were looking for, and we found them. We found them in Portugal, in Spain, in the islands, in the MLS Next, in France. We found them, and we were able to bring players in. I think what people always will question and not maybe fully understand is that there's always a developmental process. So it's like you're bringing players in, they're for your team, they're for the system, they're for the country. So we've brought in players from different age groups, U13 and up into our specific age groups, U17, U20. But there should be a vision, there's a player type, there's a profile that you're looking for. So we've been able to tap into that world a little bit. So yeah, just that experience has definitely helped me get a better understanding of what is the highest level player looking for, because I think we've tapped them in before they've reached pros, and we've tapped a few when they are pros, and it's putting them in the room, letting them learn from each other. The U20s is a complete fucking vibe when you're thinking you got youth players, you got collegiate players, you got pros, you're bringing them all in, and it's personality, it's character, and it's meaningful match days. And like if you do well, you're in a world. So we had a kid, I remember our second our second leg. We went through our first leg, won every game, but we tied against Puerto Rico. Went into the second leg, crazy times. I think we're opening the tournament Mexico in Mexico. So that's a vibe. Stadium sold out, green, red everywhere. But the kid sees like, yeah, D1, I'm in college, I'm good, I love it, but coach, I'm trying to go pro.
Yeah.
And that's his vision. He's like, this is this is the end of spring, so he probably just finished his spring season. They played a couple games. He's like, I'm not trying to go back to school. I'm like, well, you know what to do if you want to do that. Like, this is here's a platform and have a day. And you got 3 matches guaranteed. Make sure you shine in those 3 matches. And the kid's playing pro right now. So he definitely didn't go back to school. And I respect the gangster in him because he wanted to make that happen.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a blessing to have. I guess moving into kind of a different side, like obviously the Haitian women's team has some of the world's best players. They have that one really good girl that plays in France. I can't remember her name, but she's a baller.
Yeah,
Um,
She's like best player in the world. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
she's
yeah,
up for running for the last 2 years, I want to say.
yeah. She's a baller. Got to get her to move to Barca or something like that. But yeah, obviously you have ownership in the women's game, domestically and abroad. But what's it like being in the women's game compared to the men's game? Like, is it? I know you have a sister just like, I do. What's that like? What's it like being in the women's game?
Yeah, women's game, poof, it's a vision. I think it's different. There's different levels of raw talent, raw competitiveness. Let's not skip over the Melchi Doumaré though from Haiti. She is a baller,
Baller
and
for real.
yes, she's been up for some good nominations. But yeah, I think I've looked at it differently. I've coached women collegiately. I've definitely worked with my younger sister. I've coached her in a team setting. I've individually trained her. And then with B93 in Denmark, we've definitely had our unique experiences of recruitment, building a team, budgeting, selling players, and so forth. So the women's game it's still, I think it's still early. People are getting involved, people are getting invested, TV right deals are happening. the excitement is coming. Players are coming and getting salaries now. Trinity Rodman just broke some ground,
Yep.
and this is happening. Transfer window is real. NWSL has changed their league model. USL Super League came in and followed what the international calendar right away. I think NWSL is probably not too far behind this. So we see what the MLS just did with their calendar. Transfer window, player loans, player management, your academy depth, all of this is all starting to change right now. So I think people are starting to recognize. I think I had a conversation last week. It's crazy how much we talk to people about the game when we should just be working and responding to emails. But I'd much rather have this conversation. But it's like our game is different. Birth year and age groups are changing because uh, a European, a Caribbean, a different models. A Southern American is developing a player in their academy, putting them on the first team, or selling them to a first team and getting minutes out of it. And that's value. That's the game. We're, I think we're in a system. We got a pay to play model. We're, we got MLS clubs that are changing the game. We got other systems that are trying things. USL Academy is doing it as well, but we're still in a system that's building you for maybe a collegiate game. Maybe what the MLS is still a different system and setup. So professional sports in this world versus over there is definitely different. So makes a lot of sense of what we're looking into.
Sure.
But on the female game, I've watched it firsthand. I think we got a long way to go, but I think we're improving it daily. There's more presence at the highest level. If you're playing on the men's side, there's a requirement that you're developing the female side. That's happening, like I said, the highest level. That's happening in places. Nigeria is doing the same requirements. If you got a pro men's team in the first division, you're required to have a women's game. So this is the right motion.
And how difficult is it to recruit in Denmark? I mean, it's not a very old league, right? It's a pretty new league. Women's foot soccer is everywhere, pretty new except here, really. Um, how difficult it is to, because I've seen you at NWSL draft talking to American girls, try to get them to, to come to Denmark. No Diddy. Pause. Um,
Oh my.
but how hard is it to recruit?
Yeah, it's
Because really you're in a space where the American girl is probably the best um right now, you'd say, and you're in that space, but you're also trying to improve, that space in Denmark as well. So how does that kind of work?
yeah, it's tough. It's real. I remember my first year with ownership in the B93 group. Oof. I went to UNC, I went to UVA, I went to University of Georgia, University of Miami, and we had a good list. I brought the head coach out to the national championship. We met up with some people, had an opportunity to really talk to him, and there was interest, but at the end of the day, there wasn't. It's new, so it isn't as developed, it isn't as evolved. There are great opportunities for, specific players. Let's not call them DPs, but this is how teams are built. So,
Hmm.
and if you don't have those, you are just building a roster that is hopefully sustainable or manageable. Let's put it that way. But yeah, the recruitment, it's always going to be a challenge, just anywhere you are. It's all dependent on what your backing is, who's your supporting group, and what the vision is. I think we've had a season where we definitely invested in our players and we watched our team promote. That's not easy to upkeep in a system that's not generating revenue in multiple ways. So you have to be creative, you have to be collaborative, smart, and strategic in a sense. So we've looked at calendars, we've looked at partnerships, we've looked at deals, we've looked at league benefits, and have built out seasonal plans for what that club can turn into.
Was that why like you'd see B93 like Instagram, like these girls like doing fashion shows? Was that part of it? Just trying to get different revenue streams, or was that just trying to build the brand?
I think it's always a pair of it. I think you want collaborations, you want people to see the brand, but you also want to create events, you want to create hype, you want to create a buzz. So you're doing unique things to create it. And I think we created some fusion during those times that really evolved our stadium, evolved our match day experience, maybe helped evolve our branding as well. There was times where, we created unique uniforms. We had specific female team only uniforms where we're rocking the men and the women's same kits before. So different different brand under the same brand, different ownership under the same kind of club brand, but different methods there, which is unique because I think you see a house club is what B93 is. It's a local club, but there's first division to eighth division local clubs that have youth systems that have senior level teams, and it's either your senior level team aspires to be at the highest level or your senior level team is playing at a local level and just enjoying the game. So the culture of what football is in Europe is love.
Yeah. Do you I think the European game, especially the women's game, is starting to ramp up. I mean, a lot of our better women's players, not all of them, are starting to play overseas at Arsenal, Lyon. Do you see that trend? Like why are women going to Europe? Like, obviously it's a different country, a different place to live. Like, is there something more attractive than playing in the NWSL?
Yeah, it's a great question. Look, we had a player at B93. She leading goal scorer in Denmark for multiple years. We thought she was going to take the route to go to NWSL. She talked to a couple clubs and a couple transfer windows, and she just signed with what, Nottingham Forest.
Mm,
So, for her, what made that more attractive than what we thought NWSL is the number one league? What's the draw? I think a lot of people want Champions League experience exposure. I think there's a different culture that comes with being a professional soccer player in Europe, as that is the number one sport versus being a soccer player in the United States. And so I think those have attractiveness to players. What's it doing in the transfer? What's it doing financially? Those are also questions that players are always going to ask as well. So those are determining factors. But again, I think you've seen some of the top NWSL players touch Europe, but they always end up back in the NWSL.
yeah.
Ending up back now, maybe the trend might be to go and stay.
Well, honestly, some of these girls they got baby mama issues, they got girlfriend issues, they got baby daddy issues. Some of them got to come back. They got to clear visas. You know, I'm just telling you.
You
But
understand? It's a short visit. Sometimes they come at
yeah,
the
I
airport
mean,
and leave a different
and
airport.
and honestly, I mean, you see in these girls, what's one of the girls got arrested for being who's the Mewis, the other
Archie.
Mewis.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah,
This
the
in,
not
in England?
yeah, in England, the striker, the attacking Mewis,
Okay.
the one that's with the Chelsea girl from
The one who's
Australia.
Oh,
with
Christy
Sam.
Mewis. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, she got arrested for I think cussing at a cop or something like that, you can do that here. You
Where is
know,
she playing right now? Because
I think she's back in
she's
Houston.
rostered.
I think she had to come back to Houston.
Oh man,
She's at Gotham right now.
she's
Gotham.
got
Okay, she had to come back to the States. You
okay.
know, so,
Well,
some
I didn't know about all the jailable offenses going
so,
down.
some of these wild girls in the WSL got to come back. You know.
Look, we've seen them. They've had their fair share. There's documentaries that talk about them, and they call
Yeah,
it beef.
yeah.
It's a
I
real
mean,
deal.
everybody knows the NWSL. I mean, that's where the wild girls are. The USL, that's where the baddies are. Everybody knows that.
Well,
Um,
which team you following right now?
we're big Brooklyn FC fans out here.
He had a couple real
Yeah,
supporters at the
we're
Spirit
big
Weekend
Brooklyn
today.
FC fans. If
Okay.
Brooklyn FC wants to throw some money around, we're big sponsors over here, big supporters.
Shout out.
Their men's side,
What numbers am I supposed to be looking at?
I'll find them. I'll send them to you. But I think their men's side just signed the dude that shot the healthcare guy's cousin,
Hold
Oh,
on.
I did see that.
Luigi
Yeah, yeah,
Mangione's
yeah.
cousin.
Look at this. Don't give this
I
guy
think he
too
plays
much.
left
Don't give
back.
him too much time on camera right now.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, you coached in or you have a USL League Two franchise. USL just came with this promotion relegation, just announced it today. Um, what do you think that looks like, and do you think that this will actually encourage promotion relegation, or do you think it's just a kind of experiment within USL?
Look, I'm excited for what they're looking to push. I see the USL premiere announcement today that gives this session, the 50th episode, a good date check.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been involved in the game, so we got to get to that point. What is it going to look like? I'm not even one to speak on it until they come out and present it. I'm excited. I know the back end staff. I know the executive staff at the USL, some good people, so they'll come out, they'll present it when the time's right, and if there's opportunities for a club like Miami Athletic Club to get involved, we're excited too. And if there's just a continued pathway for us to put players into, that's our vision, that's our job, that's our goal. We're here to develop the game, develop the players, put them into the pro pathway. I think we believe that we've put 18 kids in the pro contracts in the last 4 years here in Miami, and that's going to be the goal going into the next season.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense, man. I mean, you're seeing guys like, I mean, Nick Simmons is a big guy from Virginia, right? Just signed with FC Dallas, was playing in Charlottesville. So again, like they're going to be good players, whether it's through Miami or through other USL clubs. They're going to come up, and then they're going to go and end up at the right places. So, good
Uh,
platform.
the pathways are there. The kids want to play.
Yep.
The clubs need the players. Are they making investments in kids? What was Nick, a junior?
Yeah, he was a freshman.
Freshman.
Yeah, yeah,
Freshman. Freshman at UVA, had a season, did work, played a summer. He played a summer at the Charlottesville Blues
yeah. His high school, he went kickers after high school, and then he went blues or one or the other, and then he
because
went
he was
UVA.
USL Academy kicker
Yeah, and he
last
was
summer.
and I think he signed a temporary pro contract, or it
Yeah,
was like a homegrown, whatever it was.
I think our boy Gabe did that also. A couple of the kids did.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so no, I think there's a lot of opportunity. Again, as we said, I think we're adapting to new culture in the pro game in the US. What's going to happen after this World Cup? Something is going to happen.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Baby booms.
Yeah, we'll watch something. We'll watch development. Is this the appropriate time, the right time for these guys to start, presenting this for 2028? Yeah, it's right on. It's right on par.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Um, I guess like moving away from the USL side, man. Like you know. every time I talk to you, you got a new venture going on, which is great, man. Like honestly, it's cool. What you've been coach, you've been director, you've been executive, you've been management, you've been vibe guy. Like what's your next track? Like what do you want to continue doing, and what impact do you want to keep having on the footy community?
And the footy community is a fun place, man. But I look, it was years ago. I went to Nigeria. We kicked off Nigeria Rush. Nigeria Rush just had our 11th year anniversary. I just want to I want to stay in the international game. There's a good feel when I'm just in that international world right now.
Yeah.
Whether it's with Haiti, doing, any of the training that we've done with FIFA, anything that I do when I go abroad, it's a fun time. So just making sure I'm staying in that world and not just keeping myself, limited to one country's the soccer system. And I think it's always been the vision, that's always been the impact, just wanting to impact mass. I think I hit an international level and now I can't get enough of it. Yeah, but there's always ventures. There's some there's some announcements coming out in the next couple weeks. Man, we've lost a lot of sleep. We've lost a lot of sleep, but we've put in a lot of work. So it's gonna be exciting times ahead.
Hey, Ryan's been saving up. He's been trying to invest. So if you know anybody, Ryan's got some
Yeah,
cash
I'm
to put
trying to
in.
get into ownership, at least
Well,
$500 worth of ownership, honestly.
there's a lot of these team community funded clubs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I think you can get
Yeah.
ownership for about
I
25.
was looking into Orange County. I think too many people invested into Orange County for it to be cool though. So I gotta find a new one, but you're traveling all the time. What's in the ears right now? Are you listening to podcasts? Are you bumping music? Like I know you're a big Dolph fan,
Come
but
on, man.
but
You
is but
you know
is
I'm not
anyone
listening to
taking over from
podcasts.
Dolph? Like RIP, but
Yeah, I got a few. I think it's been a big Afrobeat season. Dolph is still in the mix. I feel like, yeah, I got a little bit more Burna Boy. I got a little bit more Thames. Yeah, David O going through. Yeah, I got probably a lot more Fela Kuti bumping through the headsets right now. So like I've probably driven more in the last 6 months than I've driven in the last 2 years.
Sheesh.
So that's also different. And highways, we bumping. So it's plugged in the headphones, it's plugged in the aux. We're getting some good vibes right now.
what are the Haitian guys listening? I know there's a DJ on the team. Like, are they
Oh,
bumping like French rap or what are they bumping?
yeah, there's some drill, there's some French. There's you would be surprised. You laughy, but yeah, there's some French rap.
No, like I'm serious. They go
Oh
in,
yeah,
Hey,
man.
yeah.
I'm
Like these
hip.
Paris guys, like they're big.
Yeah, there's that. We got they throw Tony Mix on, and then we got some American bass players, some Canadian bass players. So you get your just raw hip hop. You got a couple rappers on the squad.
Are they freestyling?
They get after it. I think that's a camp ritual. Everybody got to get a couple bars
Yeah.
out,
Yeah, yeah, that's facts.
This
That's
is,
facts.
this is how it goes. It's a good world. Those
Yeah,
are nice. FIFA takes care of the countries.
That's cool. That's cool.
it's
What's
cool.
what's the next what's the next country going to? You got a favorite country you've been to? Like what's up next, man?
Yeah, man, I'm putting Greece on pretty soon, so that's
Mm,
gonna be
big cat
that's
country.
gonna be that's gonna be a first time. I'm looking forward to that, and like I've probably been to Portugal one too many times in the last 3 years. Portugal's starting to win. It's bringing a lot of good vibes. But I can't get over going to a Denmark sweet summer.
Yup.
There's days I still won't forget, man. Some of our trips to Denmark. I got visions of my boy RG with the fidget spinner. Man, it did numbers. It did numbers in Denmark and Sweden, let me tell you.
I was looking at pictures on my camera roll today of us stealing company cards
Oh
and
my.
running up checks. But Ethan, man, you end the podcast every week with the word. What's the word this week?
I'm gonna pass the quote of the day to Mayowa.
You
Whatever,
got a quote,
whatever
Milo?
inspirational quote he's got, or some tips for aspiring soccer business folks. Um,
Man, on the spot.
on the
On the
spot,
spot.
make it up off the dome.
I feel like I'm gonna give one, but I want a key moment for me to still finish it if that's
Yeah,
ritual.
yeah, yeah. You give your
Yeah.
advice, and then I'll hit us with the quote of the day.
We don't change on the 50th.
Yep, yep.
I think it's a fun industry at all levels. I think at the end of it, we're all kids. Look, I got my boy. I'll leave it nameless right now, but he said we were just chatting, and he's a 12 year in the MLS. Got U.S. national team caps, collegiate all American. He's done it, accolades on accolades. He's like, man, at my old age, I'm running as fast as I can to get to a soccer ball. And if there's somebody trying to get to the soccer ball, I'm gonna just push that motherfucker off the ball as fast as I can at my old age. And if
Well,
a kid can't just understand that, the game ain't really meant for the kid.
game's gone.
So I leave it because hey, it's not gone, but it's gone somewhere.
Mm,
So we definitely need to bring it back to what the physical sport is, specifically in the United States. But it's like if you believe in the dream, chase the dream. That's hard to believe in, but believe in that dream. That's what I push. If you want to be a professional player, do everything you can to become a professional player. If you want to be a GM, a club owner, a sports agent, this is your world, but just make sure you know what that is. It's a game. You're going to play, and if it's not fun, this isn't a sport that you'll just enjoy doing the business side. You got to enjoy the sport, and it's all really part of a dream.
yeah.
I love that. I love that you also may have inferred that there's a soft ass MLS team out there that can't handle some shit in training. So I'll leave it at that. Maybe we'll talk about it off the air. I don't want to air any dirty laundry out. But E, you got the word for us?
Yeah, man. Miles' quote was pretty good, man. That was good. But mine is you don't need to feel ready to move forward. You just need to move, and readiness will catch up to you. So if you're thinking about taking that leap of faith, or trying something new, or moving somewhere, just go do it, and everything's gonna work out for the best. So
I love that.
This guy's
Episode
preaching.
50. Mayowa, thank you for coming on. Um, Obviously, the other guests we've had two other guests, but you're the only requested one. The others just fell in our lap. Um, but yeah, man, thank you. This is episode 50.
yep.
We're out.
Bless.